Oh, thank you to all who have joined us to the moment you've been waiting for, our last and final session of the conference. Our last session is called Financial Wellness, what HR leaders need to know about financial wellness and stronger mental health. And facilitating this session is Arian, VP of Enriched Academy. Join me in welcoming Arian to the stage.
Appreciate it. Thank you. All right. How's everyone doing? Oh, all three of you. That's awesome. Very, very excited to be here again. It's actually our third year in a row being here, so excited to be back and excited to talk about a really important topic, a topic I love, which is money and financial wellness. So I'll tell you a little bit about Enriched Academy. We've been around for about 20 years. I've been with the company for 11 years. And really our mission is to teach Canadians about financial wellness in an unbiased, really entertaining way. I'll tell you a little bit about how we started. We actually started doing presentations to teach kids about money. These kids, they were excited. It's not because our presentation was good. We literally just gave them free money, so they were so excited about that. And we started getting really good at teaching kids about money. We created this program that we sold to parents. We're like, you need to teach your kids about money because school doesn't teach it, government doesn't teach it, no one really talks about financial literacy. We ended up on the show Dragon's Den, which was really fun. Anyone here watch the show before? Couple? Awesome. It was actually a bidding war between all 5 dragons. We ended up signing a deal with 2 of them. Jim Treliving and Bruce Croxon. It was actually 4 at one point, everyone except for Kevin O'Leary, because he wanted some ridiculous royalty deal, and it was just crazy. But I'm not sure if any of you know how hard it is for a deal to actually get done after the show. People think like, oh, you did a deal on TV, it was great. Like, that took us a year, and 2 of the dragons fell off, so it was great. This is actually my business partners in Jim Treliving's house in Palm Springs. On the left-hand side, you see Kevin. He's our co-founder. When you meet him, he's not a very tall person, so for all these pictures, he's standing on a box, which is kind of funny. So we have a fun culture. We just make fun of each other all the time. Oh, it's so great. So our mission is really quite simple. We want to make financial freedom accessible to everyone. We just think that money is such an important topic, but we never learn about it. Like, how many of you learned about money in school? Look around, like maybe accounting, but no, we didn't learn about budgeting or debt or any of these things, yet it's a topic we use every single day. You all used money today, and the government doesn't teach us. Financial institutions, their job isn't to teach about money. Their job is to sell financial products and services. Nothing wrong with that, but we can't expect them to be teaching about money. So we wanted to create this place that Canadians can go to get unbiased, reliable, financial advice, whether it's buying your first home, buying a car, retirement planning, and that's what we've created here, and there's really nothing like it. Right now, we work with 400,000 different individuals, 1,000 different companies and schools. What I'm personally most proud of is our work with our educational partners. We have partnerships with every major school board in Canada to get this information into high schools and now elementary schools. Partnerships with the government of Alberta, they've made it mandatory, their province, that every grade 10 student goes through financial literacy, which is unbelievable. Ontario we're working on them, but we got York Region, Toronto, District, Niagara, so it's all good. And we work with a lot of organizations as well, because they realize the impact that financial stress is having on their people, on their workplace performance, on their well-being. 5 years ago, it was like, oh no, people have to worry about this individually, but now more and more organizations are like, no, we actually have to provide them with the resources and provide them with the support because it's having a big impact. So we work with the Canadian Football League, we work with every police service in the country, the Canadian Armed Forces, the NHL alumni, Dominion Lending Centers, Remax, Royal LePage, so that's all just credibility stuff. So now we're going to go into some learning here. We wanted to share with you 3 keys to improving the financial wellness in your workplace, so hopefully you can take 1 or 2 of these ideas and bring it back to your workplace. Here is the first. Understanding how financial stress impacts your people and also impacts your business. This is so critical. I want you to take a look at this. This is a federal study that recently came out, and they shared that right now for Canadians, money worries are the greatest source of stress, more than work, personal health, and relationships. Did you know 48% of Canadians are losing sleep because of money? Half of your employees right now are coming into work, losing sleep because of money. Do you think that's impacting their workplace performance and just their energy and their mood? Absolutely it is. And this is the government of Canada. They're twice as likely to report poor overall health. And financial stress causes heart disease, mental health conditions like depression and anxiety. And it's such a big stress on Canadians right now, especially because of what happened a couple years ago. And mortgage rates. Mortgage rates are, did you know 80% of mortgages are coming up for renewal in the next 18 months? 18 months. I sat down with my parents. They live in Richmond Hill. I did the math for them. They're paying $1,500 a month for their mortgage. It's coming up for renewal in 6 months. It's going to go from $1,500 a month to $3,000. That's insane. And they're like, oh, we didn't know. Imagine if they're not prepared for that. They just get shell-shocked by that. A lot of your employees, their mortgages are going to come up for renewal, and they're going to come to you like, I need a raise, right? I need money for this. Take a look at this. 63% of Canadians live paycheck to paycheck. I'll ask you all a question. You don't have to answer this out loud. You could just internally give yourself the answer, but it's kind of a good exercise to do. Ask yourself, if your income were to stop today and you had no more money coming in as of today, how long would you be able to maintain your current lifestyle? Most people look at their watch. They're like, what time is it? I got a couple hours. I need to make money. That's wild. 63%. Canadians, and in America, it's less than 50%. Did you know in America, I didn't know this, in America, you can have a 30-year fixed mortgage. That means your mortgage payment stays the same for 30 years. Isn't that interesting? In Canada, we got change every at least 5 years. There's people that just have the same mortgage payments for 30 years. I'll ask you all this question, if you could raise your hand. In the past year, how many of you have heard your staff say that they're worried about things getting more expensive? Right? There you go. Look, almost everyone in the room. Look at this stat. 47% of divorces are caused by marriage. 47%. Can you believe that? I'm just joking. Not by marriage, by money. Such a stupid joke. We just have to throw it in there. By money. And then you take a look at the impact that it has on your organization. Almost half of working Canadians admit that stress related to their finances impacts their performance at work. Almost half. Because they're distracted. They're worrying about their mortgage coming up for renewal. Young Canadians worrying about buying their first home. Worrying about retirement. And we have a lot of stats. This is the Canadian Payroll Association. Annual cost of distracted employees is over $2,000. And so that's the first step, just understanding that it's important, because a lot of people think oh, it is, I get it, but I really want to drill in how important it is. It's the biggest stress that your employees are facing. And what's ironic, in your EAP program, it's the weakest link. There's a couple videos, a couple articles, yet it's the biggest stress that your people are facing right now. So let's talk about step number 2. Believing more money will solve your staff's financial stress by giving them a raise or increasing their income. It's a myth. Making money is important, and you should pay your employees well, but also understanding that it's not how much money you make, it's what you do with that money that's so critical. It's 2 skills to building wealth. You got to make money, but you also need to learn how to manage it. And at the end of the day, no matter how much money you earn, if you don't learn how to manage it, you're going to have financial stress. You're going to have financial challenges. Look at some of these examples. 60% of NBA players, they make millions of dollars per year under financial distress within 5 years of retirement. Is that crazy? 60%. I think Steph Curry will be fine, but it's 6 out of 10. Some people say just win the lottery. I'm not sure if you've heard any of your employees say this. We hear this all the time. 1 in 5 surveyed thought that winning the lottery was the best path to financial security. 1 in 5. That's the answer. I'm not going to save for retirement. I'll just hope to win the lottery. So here are the odds of winning the lottery. You have a 1 in 13,983,816 chance of winning the lottery. Some people look at this and are like, yes, this is great news. There's a chance. Man, yeah, so there's a chance. It's the best thing I've heard today. So we would literally present this at like an employee, like a event, and the employees would get excited. Like, this is amazing. So we've actually had to put in other statistics just to put this into perspective of how hard it is. So you have a 1 in 7 million chance of being struck by lightning. So way better chance of running around outside and try to get struck by lightning. And look at this, you have a 1 in 705,000 chance of giving birth to quadruplets. 4 kids at once, way better chance. Isn't that crazy? According to these stats, I have a better chance of giving birth to quadruplets than a lot of you do winning the lottery, right? That's how rare it is. But look at this. This is crazy. 72% of people who win the lottery go bankrupt within 7 years. But what a fun 7 years that must have been, right? Like, what was going on in those 7 years? They were just having a time of their life. Anyone want to take a guess which province you think has the highest income per family in Canada? British Columbia? Yeah? Yeah, okay. Anyone else want to take a guess? Alberta. I couldn't believe it. I thought it was BC as well. It's Alberta. They make $103,000 for every family in Alberta. Ontario is $90,000. Now, is it expensive to live in Alberta? No, I have an investment property in Calgary, downtown, 1 bedroom, 1 den. It's $290,000. The same thing in Toronto is, what is it now, like $700,000, $800,000? So you would think they should be doing the best financially because they make the most amount of money and the cost of living is pretty low. But take a look at this. Alberta tops Canada with the highest average household debt. Isn't that wild? They make the most amount of money, but they have the most amount of debt. Again, it's not how much money you make, it's really what you do with that money. I love this example. Oh, so much. And I bet you this is happening at all your organizations. We've had the privilege of working with hundreds of thousands of Canadians. We see this every single day. We'll meet a Canadian making $70,000 per year that's doing better financially than someone making $150,000 per year with the same situation. And we see it all the time. And you ask that person that's making $150,000 per year, they might be living paycheck to paycheck. You ask them, what would solve your money problems? And what do you think they say 9 times out of 10? Yeah. They're like, oh, if I just made $180,000, that would solve everything. It's like, no, it wouldn't. To give you an analogy, imagine you go to the gym. That's how I went to the gym today. I imagined it. Didn't really work, but imagine. It's not that funny. Like, come on. But imagine you try to lift 70 pounds. You're like, you go to the gym, you're like, let me try to do this, whatever this one's called, 70 pounds. You're like, oh, it's too heavy. Does it make sense to try to lift 150 pounds? Probably not. If you can't lift 70 pounds, you won't be able to lift 150 pounds. It's no different with money. If you can't manage what you're currently making, or you can't manage 70,000, you won't be able to manage 150,000. It's not the money that's the issue, it's the foundation, it's the system, the habits, the mindset. That's what needs to be fixed, not adding more money, right? So a lot of your employees that come like, oh, I just need a raise, I need to make more money. If one of your employees is struggling with debt and you give them more money, in 12 months, they're just gonna be in more debt. It's very rare that it's gonna change. So it's so important. It's tricky to communicate this to your employees. That's why we use like these fun examples and stuff like that. Look at this. This is the largest study of millionaires in North America. 70% of millionaires never earned a 6-figure income. Isn't that shocking? Most millionaires are people that make under 6 figures but are very smart with how they manage it. They don't look rich. It's funny, when you meet wealthy people, you're like, what? That person's wealthy? But they're driving like a used Kia, right? Or they're living in the same home for a handful of years. And you're like, and then the person that looks really rich, right? They got the brand new BMW 45,000, right? With the air fryer in it. And you're like, how? And they got the home, but it's like 2% down payment, right? And you're like, whoa, this is really interesting. So 2 skills to build wealth. And I love doing these presentations for groups because as soon as your employees hear this stuff, they get it. They're like, oh, okay, I need to focus on how to manage my money a little bit better. It's not how much you make, it's what you do with that money. All right, step number 3, most programs, and it was great, I heard about this earlier, get low utilization. Most wellness programs no one uses. EAP is a perfect example of this. Anyone know what the average utilization of an EAP is in Canada? We have a $25 giveaway. Okay, so you could just yell out your answers. Or no, actually, no, that's not a good idea. Put your hand up so I could see. So I heard there. 5%, okay. 7? 3? 2? $1? Okay. You're throwing me off here. Yep. 8? Okay, you're the closest. 8% is the closest, so come see me after, I'll give you $25. But it's 11%. So 11% is the average utilization rate of an EAP, the Employee Assistance Program in Canada. And most of it, you look at it, is for psychological health. 41% of your staff are using it for psychological health. Look at the financial percentage there. 0.2%. Isn't that, it's the number one stress your people have in their life, yet it's the most underutilized program. Do you know why? Have any of you looked at the financial wellness component of your EAP program? Anyone? It's not good. It's a couple videos, a couple articles, a couple PDFs. If they do a phone call, it's with a financial institution that's trying to sell them financial products. We've been doing this for 20 years. We just focus on one area. That's why we've gotten really good at this, just money. That's it. We don't do relationships, mental health. We just focus, and we've gotten really good at helping Canadians improve their financial wellness. And because of that, take a look at our utilization with 1,000 companies we work with, 52%. It's pretty amazing. So I'm going to give you some tips on how we do this. I actually heard this earlier today, which was great. Integrating into the employee experience has been a game changer for us. Adding this into all the different elements of how your employees interact with you is so important. So I'll share with you British Columbia Police Association. We've been working with them for 7 years with all their police officers. A part of their onboarding, it's a couple months down the line, it's not right away. We do a little bit of a session with them. It's an online session, it's 5 minutes long, quick, to the point, and then also we do in-person sessions for them when we can. But we talk to their police chief, and we talk to the president of the union. We ask, what's the biggest challenge that a lot of new police officers make? And they're like, right away. As soon as a new police officer gets their first paycheck, they go to Ford and buy a brand new pickup truck. That's the very first thing that they do. So we're like, okay, how can we help them out with that? So we have this training, and I'll show you what it looks like. We'll do an online presentation, and we'll tell them, hey, congratulations, really excited that you got this new job. We want to tell you about some of the money mistakes and lessons to help you succeed, not just for you, but for your family. The most important lesson is understanding the difference between an asset and a liability. An asset is something that makes you money, and a liability is something that loses you money. Now, one of the first purchases you're probably going to make is a car. A car is one of the worst places to put your money because if you think about what you're doing, you're putting your money into something that continues to go down in value forever. It's not like it goes up in value, it just continues to go down. And we do this every 5 years. Like every 5 years, we pay off our car, we get a brand new car. I hope the Kia guy isn't here, but but it's like, it's the worst. A brand new car is the worst place to put your money. It's like, imagine I told you, hey, I got this really great investment opportunity. You could buy this stock, and when you put your money in, it'll just keep going down. And you just keep putting more money in, and it just keeps going. That's what a car is. But here's the thing, it's that first year, that's the biggest drop. When you buy a brand new car, you drive it off the lot, you're losing 20 to 30% of its value right away. And the longer you wait, the longer that drop is. So we'll tell them, like, take a look at this. If you want to buy a brand new pickup truck, we're not going to stop you. And this is the presentation we did last year for them. You could buy a brand new Ram 1500 Rebel for $84,000, brand new off the lot. Or you could buy a year used, the same exact car with 12,000 kilometers, 3 years warranty, still under warranty, for $58,000. That's $30,000 for making one decision. That's a lot of money. It's not the $5 cup of coffee a day, it's this. And guess what we do? We do this every 4 years. Like, right? Because for some reason, whenever we pay off our car, it's like, oh, like, I need to go get a new car. No, you can hold on to a car for more than 4 or 5 years. And sometimes people get mad at us. Like, we'll get emails from people that are like, yeah, but if I buy a used car, it's not going to smell like a new car. So you can actually go to Canadian Tire and get new car smell scent for $3.50 and put it in your car. And there, you just saved a ton of money. Look at this. This is so interesting. 76% of millionaires don't drive brand new cars. 76%. So interesting. Right? Especially for the younger Canadians, right? Like, it's funny because younger Canadians are living at home longer than ever, but they're driving insane cars. They're like my friend just got a brand new RS6. He lives at home, no investments. It's a $130,000 brand new car. I'm like, and he's a personal trainer. I'm like, that makes zero sense. And he sent me a TikTok. It's like, oh, this boy math. It's when you buy something expensive, you work harder. That's like you justified it. I'm like, okay, like if it makes you feel better, sure. You only live once. If you ever say this, you're about to make a really stupid financial decision, right? So limit these to like once or twice a year. It's just so expensive. All right, number 4, provide practical resources staff actually benefit from. This is something that we've learned over the 20 years. One of the newest things we started doing for our partners is a free will. So every time we partner up with an organization, all their staff get a free will and a little training on why a will is important. 70% of Canadians don't have a will. It's really critical to have one. We have another really great tool. It's called a negotiation script. It's a word-for-word script to call your service providers and just negotiate your monthly bills. Whether it's Rogers, you can negotiate everything. Even your bank, if you're paying like a bank fee, like a $20 checking or savings account fee, you can negotiate that. That should be zero. Your investment fees, if any of you know what an MER is, if you're paying fees on your mutual fund, which everyone does, on your RSP, your TFSA, you can negotiate that. So it's a really simple word-for-word script, but anyway, staff don't want to listen to a 1-hour workshop. They just want tools and resources that they could use right away and get benefits from. All right, so quick summary of what we talked about. Money problems affect your team's mood and work. I hope you kind of internalize that. More money is not the solution. Providing raises is not only always the solution. Let's give them a raise, but let's also provide them resources on how to manage that raise properly, and that's going to change their life, not just for them, but their family. Most wellness programs don't get used much. Create fun and useful content and give staff resources they'll actually use. So I'll do a quick little plug here for Enriched Academy. We have this amazing employee financial wellness program that I talked about. Over 1,000 organizations in Canada are using it. It's strictly Canadian. How it's broken down is we've provided 3 different ways of learning: online courses, training events, in-person and virtual, tools like the free will and scripts, debt crushers, budgeting tools, and then one-on-one coaching. That's not selling you financial products. So we have different types of coaching: how to buy your first home, retirement planning coaching, how to get out of debt coaching, and we have all these different coaches that specify in different areas. So it's not just for new employees, it's also for employees that have been around the block for a while. Here are a couple of stories that we've gotten from HR teams, from their employees, and we love these so much. You have the guy at the top there is John Brock. He's like, the Enriched Academy program helped save my marriage, which is him and his wife just kept fighting about money, and they just needed to get on the same page. People paying off their debt. This lady here, Laura, said we paid off 25 grand of debt, not from making more money, just by learning how to manage it a little bit smarter and giving them the tools. Like, money is a solvable challenge. It's solvable. Like, mental health is tough. There's so many different aspects, and this is a big part of mental health, but money is solvable with the right tools, the right coaching, and the right support. And we're the best in the country at doing that because we've been doing it for 20 years. It'd be unreasonable for us not to be good at it when you do it for that long. What's the best thing that we're hearing is the program for kids. So we have programs from grade 4 all the way to a young adult. I just got a call from the police chief of Regina, and he said, I was speaking to one of my members. Their kid was saving money to buy a car in university. And they went through our program. Instead of buying a car, they're about to buy an investment property, rent out the rooms to their friends, and he's like, what did you teach my kid in 1 hour? They're asking me to co-sign on a mortgage and taking equity out against my property. Like, what the heck is this, right? And it's just the language of money. That's what it is. Here's some of our average employee results. 6 in 10 members reduce their levels of financial stress, and the increase in monthly cash flow for those that engage in the program, $1,000. Isn't that awesome? Imagine you can have an extra $1,000 a month in your pockets without working more hours or getting another job, just by managing what you have a little bit better. That's really cool. So if you are interested in learning more about the program, I can also send you the slides of the presentation. So if you like this, you want the slides, scan that. We'll send you a package with more information. And yeah, thank you so much for having me. I hope you enjoyed that. Hope you got some value from it. And there you go. Any questions? I think I got 5 minutes here. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but okay. Awesome. Well, no, yeah. It totally ranges. So we have a calculator, so it depends on how many staff that you have. Yeah, great question. All right. Well, thanks so much for having me, everyone. Hope you have a good rest of your day.
Man. I love that. I love that.